Hello and welcome along, everybody. This is the Super Six podcast. As always, we love having your company. It's myself, Laura Woods, and Bayo Akinfenwa. Hello, mate. How are you?
Yo, what's going on, LW? How are you, babes?
Not too bad, thank you very much. Crazy week of football. So much going on. There's goals galore. Not that I want to get straight into it with you, but I'm going to anyway. You were on the wrong end of a big scoreline, weren't you?
LW, I thought we said we was not going to chat about this. What? Nah, we were. It was hard. I won't lie to you. Even at my tender age, it was hard, man. We sat in the change room after the game for an hour and a half, and we went hard at each other, just because it was. And you know what the crazy when they say the game is of two halves? The first half we was in it. It was 2-2, and literally you didn't know which way the pendulum would swing. And then, I mean, listen, football's like that. I've been in the game long enough, and I've lost that exact same score about 10 years ago. So, look, I've been in football long enough to know, but it's not nice. I kid you not, it's not nice. But, look, we had a game yesterday, and unfortunately, I don't think we did enough to win it, but it was a clean sheet and it was a point on the board, and every point's crucial in where we are now. So, I won't lie, when I saw the result, the Southampton result, the Man United Southampton result, not like it gave me some joy, but when you do say it as a player and say, look, you know what? Sometimes anybody can get it, and it don't matter the level, anybody can get it, and Southampton got it last night.
I kind of know what you mean. Like, it's not like them losing. It's like, oh, they've lost by a bigger score or anything like that. It's just that, like you say, it can happen, and that is football, especially this season, even though Southampton had done it before last season. Also, did you know it was Groundhog Day? So it was Groundhog Day yesterday, the day that they did it again. So like,
No.
that kind of how weird is that? So weird.
Oh.
And I was watching it, and I just kept thinking, because I was like, as a player, would you be thinking about that scoreline the more it goes? So it gets to 4 and you think, oh no, and then it gets to 5. Are you thinking the players that were on the pitch for the 9-0 the first time against Leicester? Do you think they would have been thinking that?
Yeah, man, it comes into play. The reason why I say that, because on Saturday, I remember I come on at 4-2 and it quickly went 5-2. And then the next tack it went 6-2. And then it went 7-2. And you know what? You start hearing them numbers. So the 6s, the 7s, which they're not football scores. And then you start thinking, there's nothing we can do to kind of change momentum. Sometimes as much as I know fans be watching and thinking, how can it happen? But momentum's such a crazy thing. And you literally just can't get out of the days. It's just, okay, boys, let's stay solid for 5. And then you slip and it goes in. And it is, and you do think about that. You look at it and you think, they've scored again. They've scored again. And then, boys, after it hit 5, 6, they would just been like, all right, boys, let's not happen it again. So you try as much as possible to try and stop it. And then a goal goes in. I didn't see any of the goals, but and listen, I know
goals. They were good goals.
They were. I know Southampton got, they got 2 players sent off. And then you're running around and that. But yeah, man, as players, look, we're all human, innit? There's no two ways about it. We're all humans. But yeah, man, they would have thought about it.
Yeah. Guess what? I actually think that the Laura Woods curse is lifting slightly.
Why are you saying that?
There's method to my madness. So basically, last week we had Liam Cooper on, brilliant guest.
Yeah.
They just come off the back of a win against Newcastle, and then they went on to beat Leicester away from home at the King Power 3-1 at the weekend. So that's like my first kind of bit of evidence. Our guest this week is a Sheffield United player. They won last night, and they have a game this weekend. So I'm kind of thinking...
Whoa, LW. I see what you're trying to do here, yeah? You see how you said we interviewed Liam Cooper? We are going, it's no longer like the LW, because when I'm with you, we balance. Like our balance, we're the yin to the yang. So when you try and put that juda, I come back with the jada. You see what I did there?
Are you saying that my bad karma is balanced out by your good karma?
Listen, I didn't want to say that, but I'm glad you did. You know what I'm saying? So for me, again, I know we say this, but listen, this dude that we're interviewing today, he's kind of like the benchmark. When you do what you have to do, and he did it the long route. Nah, man, it should be fun, man.
Yeah, this guy is brilliant. He's an absolute hero around the streets of Sheffield. People love him in the game as well. He does so much for so many different reasons and on a lot of different levels as well. Really good guy. Shall we meet him?
Yeah, man, come on, man.
So this week's guest is an absolute legend in Sheffield. As I said earlier on, he is the club captain of Sheffield United. He also scored the winner, incidentally, last night, and he's taken the time out to come onto our podcast today. Please give a warm welcome to the club captain. It is Billy Sharp.
Yo, Billy!
Morning,
Billy! My
Morning,
guy,
guys.
what's going on?
You okay?
What a time to get you on the podcast. How perfect is this?
I know, yeah. Well, I knew I was possibly coming on, and I needed to make sure it was a good timing, and managed to do it just in time before the gaffer brought me off. So, no.
Talk to us. I was at. Talk to us. I mean, of course, innit, we know the season you're having. Talk to us. I mean, look, I've seen you played against you. You've just scored goals upon goals. Talk to us about last night.
Yeah, we was a little bit disappointed first half. We had a lot of the ball. West Brom kept a good shape and sat deep, and we didn't really penetrate and cause them any problems. And obviously had the blow just before half time with them scoring, and the gaffer made it quite clear that he wasn't happy and made a change. And yeah, of course it helped us. We got up the pitch a lot quicker, a lot higher, and got in behind them and caused them a lot of problems. And you know how it is when you're on the pitch, you can feel it. And obviously no fans in the stadium, but you could just feel it. As soon as we scored the first goal, they knew they was in trouble, and they was actually shouting on, saying we need to make a change of some sort, because there's only one way this is going. And that is exactly how it felt. And everybody deserves huge credit on the pitch last night, because no one went hiding, which, we didn't hide in the first half, but we just didn't play quick enough. And second half, we showed what we're about, and got the vital 3 points, which is obviously a step in the right direction.
It must be, Billy, really tough, mentally draining to be in a situation in the season where you feel like you're battling pretty much from the off. It's just been completely different to last season. What do you think has changed?
Listen, the fans is a big part of our game, I'll be honest.
Massive.
Home and away. You go away to Old Trafford, for instance, like last week. If we had done what we did to Manchester United the first half, gone in 1-0, their fans would have been right on the back, and ours would have been, all over us. They'd have been pushing us. And obviously we got the win last week, but just instances like that, even last night, 1-0 down, they'd have known that we were the better team first half, but just wasn't quite clicking, and they'd have stayed with us and give us that big roar and kick into the cop end. It's mad how good it feels kicking that way with the fans sucking the ball in the net. And like I say, it felt like there was fans in the stadium last night, because the momentum, the wave after attack just kept coming, and we all believed and could feel it happening. But I think momentum, the fixtures wasn't as kind this year as last year's start. And obviously once you lose one or two, I think I've said it before in many interviews, when you're winning, it's hard to lose. And when you're losing, it becomes a lot harder to win. And confidence of players, mentality, when you're 1-0 down, it's a lot harder to play than when you're 1-0 up. So it's important in the next, 2, 3, 4, 5 games going forward that we get that first goal, because we're a completely different side. But it was nice last night to come from behind to show that we are still fighting, and we've got a big fight on our hands. But, we're going to tick games off, and hopefully we can put a little run together.
See, it resonates what you're saying, because I would say we're similar to your position where we are, Wickham. We're bottom of the league, and we're fighting every game we're fighting, and exactly, momentum's a hard shift. When you're losing, and when you're winning, you're winning. And the fans, which you say, I mean, it's our first time in the Championship, and the fans, where sometimes you need them to push you over, when you need them, like you said, you can sense the energy. Like as players, you can sense the energy. And sometimes it's so important, which I think when people are watching it, they do not understand the role when the energy, when there's no fans, you need them, because we are only human. You know what I'm saying? So we're similar to you, Reece. We need to get them wins, but we're trying to show every day. I'm like, to be fair, I want to say, I'm like Righty. I do think you're going to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? So quote me now. I think Sheffield United's going to get out of it, Billy. So, I'm out there, brother. Don't serve me wrong out here, because I think you're going to do it, though, to be fair, brother.
Yeah, I've seen Wrighty's tweet. I think it was either last night or this morning. And no, it's great that, some people are still thinking we can do it, and we believe we can do it. It's going to be a tough task, but like yourselves, everybody wrote you off, and it's good to see you chipping away at it, and hopefully you can pull a few wins back as well, because it isn't nice losing football matches, but did incredibly well to get there and had the little cup run as well, which was nice to see.
Let me ask you something. So, yesterday's goal, and I'm just going to ask because you're a pup. I know you're a pup. You're turning 34. You're a youngster. Don't worry about
it. Turning 35 in 2 days, yeah.
Let me ask, does it feel sweeter scoring now? Because, look, you've scored so many goals. So every time it hits the back of the net, does it still feel like, geez, it's a beautiful thing?
Yeah, you know yourself. There's no better feeling than scoring a goal, a winner. Like yourself, you're playing at the highest level you've played at your age. It's the same for me. I'm playing at the highest level.
I haven't scored yet, though, Billy, but I'm still trying. I haven't scored it yet, though, but I'm still trying, though, brother.
You will do, though. I believe in you.
My brother.
Yeah, you can't. I wish there was fans in that Kop end in the stadium, because, yeah, it's not the same. But to score a win at the Kop end for my club is, it's an unbelievable feeling, and I'm just delighted for the boys at the minute, because they've had a tough time of it, and I was the lucky one to get the winner last night. But yeah, I was right place at the right time. I think I was 7 yards out maybe, so pretty far for me, that one. In between the goalposts, and yeah, I'm just delighted I could do it, because the ball could have quite easily gone out a couple of seconds earlier and I'd have been whipped off. So no, I was lucky last night to get that opportunity with a few seconds remaining what I had.
So, Billy, your role with Sheffield United for such a long time has just been, you're such a leader, and obviously the club love you, the fan base love you. Do you feel the last couple of seasons you would have obviously wanted to be involved more, and you feel like actually your contribution is important?
Yeah, I want to play every game. I know that's not possible, but I'd love to have played a lot more than I have last and this season especially. But when I got given the armband, the gaffer said a few things to me which I didn't really understand until last season and this season, with the terms of having the armband. I feel I've grown as a player and as a person with the armband, and I love having the responsibility and being the point of call to the boys in the dressing room and etc. But yeah, it's been tough, I'll be honest. When I'm not playing, as a captain, you want to be able to influence the lads, and it is hard sometimes when you're not playing, because yeah, you've got your own personal disappointments. But I know I've been a pain for the gaffer all season, because I've been telling him I want to play. I feel I can influence the team even if I'm not scoring goals, and that's all I want to do. I just want to help. I just want to be a part of it. And yeah, even when I don't play and I don't come on, people will say I'm an influence, which is fine, but I feel I do much more when I'm on the pitch. So yeah, he's got 6 good strikers and he has to pick 2, because we play 2 up front. But no, I'm delighted I've got myself back in the starting 11, and I just need to keep working hard and keep performing and being an influencer on the pitch for the rest of the lads.
Listen, see, what makes you laugh about it? Because, of course, like we talked about, you're 38, man. You're not young no more, even though I'd say you're young.
What did you say, 38?
I'm 38. Yeah. No, I'm 38. You're 35. Yeah. Listen, I ain't putting 3 years on you, brother. Come on, you still got plenty of time. But what I'm trying to say is you can still hear the passion in your voice. And look, I already know, listen, I've played against you and I know the energy and I know the interview you've done. I've seen you play. You play a massive role even if you don't play. And of course, to you, when you're thinking, listen, I get it. Like, there's all that comes into wearing the armband. I've got to support the boys on and off the pitch, but you've still got so much to give on the pitch. And I get that. But the last 2 years, and I know you're not, but this is me just saying it, like, even in the training, like the energy, the showing the gaffer that you can still play, all that does is just push on your strikers that he plays, because they can't rest on their laurels, because they know if they don't go hard, Billy's on their shoulder gonna play. So I get that the mindset of, you know what, gaffer, play me because I can do it. But you as the captain, you bring so much, and that responsibility that you bring in the changing room. don't ever look at it like it is not as powerful as scoring a winner, even though there's nothing better feeling than scoring goals, if you understand what I'm saying. But because I'm where you are now, to be fair, that shifted. It's the first time it shifted this season where I was on this, Gaffer, play me, don't worry, I'm Superman, I can do it. Like, I literally can do it. And I had to come to the realization that, listen, big man, you can't, you know what I'm saying? So even though you can't do it as much as you want to on the pitch, your role is like, we've got a striker we've brought in, and my role is now to be like, listen, what I've experienced, to try and pull it into him. And I know that. And it's a hard shift, which some people outside the game won't clock. It's a hard shift to move to say, you know what, I have to try and use my other skills off the pitch rather than on it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, listen, I understand that, and no disrespect to you, but listen, if that comes to me, if you've looked in the mirror and you think that, then, you know, that's fine, but I'm just not accepting that. Well, I'm not accepting it because
I love that.
I'm not at that point, and I'll look in that mirror, and if I know I'm not going to influence Sheffield United Football Club, which obviously I support, I will say, I'll be honest, and I'll say, you know, first of all, I'll say it to myself, to my family, to my dad, and then to the manager, and I'll say, look, yeah, I think you're all right, and then I still can be a part, like you're saying. Mate, I honestly think you get one goal, you know what that's going to do for you.
Yeah. It's not even that. That was what me and you discussed afterwards, and that was what I wanted to ask you now. So, body-wise for you, and to be fair, I think I know what you're going to say anyway. So, body-wise to you, have you seen the change, or right now you're like, nah, you know what? It doesn't really matter for me, the age-wise. I still feel good. I still feel like I can do it.
Yeah, I feel the older I've got, the stronger and the better I've looked after myself. You know, when I was 23, 24, I thought I was Superman, like yourself. I thought I could drink 10 beers, not do extra work, not recover right. And yeah, maybe I should have done that better when I was younger. But since I hit 30, I have looked after myself a lot better. I mean, the best shape I've ever been in my career.
Wow.
And yeah, I've made sacrifices to make sure I can keep going. But, you know, after this interview, I want to try and get the last bit of snow sledging, and I'm still not
You've
too
got
stiff
snow
to do
up
that. So,
you got snow up there?
yeah, we've had a lot of snow, yeah. So
got nothing done in London.
Yeah, I know. Good old London.
I know, right? It's
you
just
had it a few weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. It only comes and goes. We only have it sporadically.
Can we talk about your time at Sheffield United, how it began, how you got scouted? Because it really is a love affair. You've obviously gone off and done other things with other clubs and then come back round full circle, which is a great story. How did you get scouted?
I was playing Sunday League football, and then I think Sheffield United and Rotherham what were interested in me, and for some reason I chose to go to Rotherham. It was a school of excellence at the time, so I went there, and I had an agreement that if I wasn't happy, I could go to Sheffield United, and I wasn't happy, so I think they'd ended
Was it too excellent?
I think it was at 100, about 75 grand compensation, which was quite a lot of money back then. But well, it still is now, but obviously not in football. And then did my scholarship, made pro, and then I think I made 1 or 2 appearances, but then made the sacrifice, which my dad didn't push me but advised me. Rushden Diamonds to go on loan. Didn't know who they were or where they was, but that was a super move for me because it's where England used to train and the facilities were phenomenal. I know Bayo was there just before me, or
just before.
And the facilities were amazing. I remember the first day coming in, the kit man said, "Put your kit in there," and as I turned around after I took my kit off, he'd got hanging a robe up.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Put my arms in. Put my arms in the robe. Went and had a
beautiful.
bath. Read a paper. I was thinking, "Wow, this is better than being a Sheffield United at the time." And I managed to do well there, and that feeling of playing proper man's football and not playing for the under-21s or whatever it was back then, and I wanted more of it, and I made that decision to go to Scunthorpe when I was 18, I think it was, and it couldn't have gone any better. Sheffield United ended up paying me back for £2 million, I think it was, and Had some good times then, but again, I wish I could have played for Sheffield United all my career, but it wasn't to be. And I made move after move. I had a period in my career where I was on loan for 3 clubs where I'd had a couple of issues in my personal life which I struggled with, and then when I was at Southampton, did well, but didn't have the backing of the owner, I think it was then, because he got rid of a manager who did have my backing, and it seemed to go a bit pear-shaped for 2 years, wasn't settled. But then when I went to Leeds, I thought, right, this is brilliant, amazing club, back up north. Had 4 managers in a season. Again, had some brilliant times, but the club was in a bit of turmoil at the time. Cellino was wrecking the place, and I'm happy to see them doing well now, and the club's in good hands now. So, but that was me going from Southampton via Leeds to get back to Sheffield United, and yeah, I dropped from Premier League to League One in about a season, and I had no issues with that because it was Sheffield United. If it had been another League One club in for me, I wouldn't have even thought about it twice. But yeah, it's been unbelievable. The last 4 seasons I couldn't have wrote it down on a piece of paper any better. 2 promotions, scoring lots of goals, and being captain of the club I support. It's mental. I don't think I'll appreciate it until I've finished. And I speak to a lot of people who say, keep going as long as you can because you're a long time retired, and that's something. 35 is going to hurt me, I'll be honest. 2 days.
Hey, stop that, man. Stop talking
30
like
years
that.
old to 35, I just think it's the same. 31, 32, it's all the same. But then 35, I'm gonna feel old. But
yes, brother.
I've got an opportunity to collect the pension, but I'll wait and I'll keep going.
You hit the slope, don't you? It's like a slope down to 40.
No,
I'm not there
listen,
yet, Billy, by the way. But yeah.
No, you're not. I'm telling you, you're going to ball to your 40. I'm telling you, you're going to ball to your 40. Don't let them tell them. Nobody going to tell you now. You're going to ball to your 40. If you want to, you can ball. So let me ask you. So like you said, you did League One, you did the Champ, you did the Prem.
League Two.
So
done League Two.
You did League Two? Oh, so you played in all the leagues. So talk. I see. I love that. See, I think I played, of course, like you touched on it. I'm playing the highest I've done at 38. So I've played predominantly in the lower leagues, and you've done what? Not going to say the right way. It's just your way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Where you've gone through all the leagues. So talk to me. What's the difference in the leagues? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've scored goals in all of them. So what's the difference in the leagues?
Well, the things that aren't different is there's a green pitch, 2 goals at either end, and a football. But yeah, in the Premier League, there's, the quality is it just goes up a level, especially with the top 6, top 8 teams. Yeah, in League Two, League One, I'll be honest, the goalkeeper can kick one. Everyone can miss it, and you can run onto it and score. I scored a few like that. There's a lot more mistakes, but I'll be honest, it's still an amazing game. League Two, League One, whatever. It's still absolutely fantastic, and I'm actually happy I did that process from League Two and went up the ladder. And yeah, I've had everyone writing the fat lad off, but I've had belief in myself, and
I've been there, brother. Well done.
I know I can score goals in the Premier League, and I'm lucky enough. I'm doing that at the minute, but it's just been a long graft to get there, and I got there with Southampton, and then had it taken away from me. But I've worked hard to get back, and I'm just obviously this is the team I wanted to do it with, and the club I've wanted to do it with since I was a little boy.
I remember interviewing you just when you guys got promoted, and I'm trying to remember who the first game was against, because you came off the bench and scored the equaliser, didn't you? And it was and fans were in the stadium, and it just went absolutely berserk. Who was that?
Yeah, it was Bournemouth. Yeah, I remember a week before this. This is a little story. It was in France, and we just played. I think it was Reims. It was unbelievable. It was the tempo they played out. We was like, wow, we're in. If we don't liven up like next week, this is what it's going to be like. And I wasn't starting that game, and I'm not stupid. I knew the team that started, that game was going to start the week after, and I'll be honest, I was a little bit upset. And disappointed because I've worked hard pre-season, but I knew it was only the start and I had plenty of time to get my chance. And I was sat next to Ben Osborne at the time, and I remember just saying to him, he said something to me. I said, "Oh, it's okay, mate. I'll get my chance. You know, come on, and I'll get a goal." And it's exactly what happened. And we still chat about that now. And I just remember the game. We did really well. We could have been 1 or 2 goals up the first half, and then the gaffer said, "Look, go and get warmed up. You're coming on." And it was mental. Premier League, Sheffield United. It doesn't get much better. And again, I was the lucky one. Somehow come off my left shin, bounced a couple of times, went in the corner, and it was at the right end as well with the Sheffield United fans. And the scenes, still seeing that now, it makes my hair stand up on the back of my neck. And you know, the photo I've got up in my house, it's something I always walk past and makes me smile. And it was a very, very important goal in my career because a lot of people was writing me off and managed to shut them up after about 7 minutes, I think it was.
You seem to feed off of it, you know, like the fact that you have these critics and the fact that you have continually seen them off throughout your career. Do you think that in a way, even though it's not nice, because no one really enjoys that level of criticism and it can be really loud in football especially, can't it? But in a way, you're almost glad it's there because it probably gives you a little bit of firepower.
Yeah, who wants to be Ronaldo and Messi? It's boring. No one writes you off. No one says you can't do it. No one says this. No, I'll be honest. That's what I'm missing. I miss my fans, you know, the home fans, but I miss the away fans as well.
I said the same thing, bro.
They give me a lot of stick, and they drive me on, and you know the chants they give. Yeah, some of them. Well, I'm not going to be able to say what they say on here, but I was at Scunthorpe at the time, and I had the number 24 shirt on. And yeah, my mum and dad have never missed a game. Obviously, they've had to now with the circumstances. But my mum and dad were sat in the crowd at Hartlepool away. I just scored my second goal of the match. Andy Keogh scored 2. I think it was 4-2 up. And the fans were chanting 20 from a corner. I'm looking for the hat trick, and they're shouting 24. Your mum's a. And I'm thinking, no.
Oh,
that's probably the worst one I've had. I was thinking, oh no, my mum. What's my mum going to be thinking? But yeah, it's always nice. I don't know. I think the Norwich fans, they're one of the worst to me. Bradford, all in good heart, but I always seem to get the goal, and you know shushing them. Yeah. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. I don't mean it in a nasty way. I just I think there's like a bit of a love-hate relationship between some of the opposition fans, which, yeah, they are the people that make football, I'll be honest. Without the fans, it's not the same game. And to be honest, last night I didn't even think about VAR. Something could have happened that I didn't see, but I just let the emotions get away with me and did a 15-foot knee slide, I think it was, and then the social distancing.
Honestly, it was quite impressive.
Yeah, it was perfect conditions.
Oh, damn, I haven't seen it, you know. I'm going to go check it after this. I didn't see it.
Ollie McBurney nearly breaks my neck, and then my knee nearly comes out. But yeah, it's football. It's strange times at the minute, but unbelievable feeling last night, even without the fans. But yeah.
So, because I remember you mentioned Keown there, because I remember your partnership one season where you two was just on flames. So I'm going to ask, so all the players you've played with through the leagues and that, who was for you that you look back now and think that just complimented you as a partnership, like on a different level?
Do you know what? I've had so many. I think people, because I was small, said put me with a big man, but I don't really look at it like that. I'd like to play someone who I can play with, not off. If you know what I mean. If anything, someone play off me, if you like. But, me and Didsy as a partnership, I think we got 39 goals together in the Championship, which, was a big help to get us promoted. He was on trial at the club. He was out of contract and he was on trial, and he's been a great addition to the club. And he's, recently he's been one of the great partnerships for me. Andy Keogh, like you said, I remember sitting down, signing for Scunthorpe, and he was the one who I first spoke to and sat next to, similar age, similar hobbies and interests, and we hit it off. We used to have a shed at Scunthorpe. It was like an indoor AstroTurf, but it was an old farm shed thing, and you used to bounce it off the barriers on the sides. past the other players, and we used to have a laugh with it and linking up. You know, you can work on partnerships, but they tend to come naturally, and that's what we had, a natural instinct. I wanted to get him goals, he wanted to get me goals, and we had fun doing it. But again, James Beattie at Sheffield United is a very good friend. I learned a lot of him, to be honest. In awe of him at the start, but he used to tell me, you know, he used to do a lot for my belief, because he used to, you know, forget about everything else, take yourself out of it, think of good things, positive things, and we used to work on finishing, which is a strong point in my game. But like I say, he learnt me a lot on and off the pitch, so he's up there as well. Ricky Lambert, when I didn't actually know what he was like, and he's gone through the similar process to what I'm going through. League Two, won Championship and Premier League, and scored goal, and even internationally he's did it. He was unbelievable with his feet, and whether it was in his chest, whether it was with his head, he was a very clever player, and he was an hell of a finisher as well. So they stand out in my mind, and like I say, I've had a lot of good partnerships, and I've scored a lot of goals with the partnership that I've just said. But I think the last person I played up front with when I played against the Beast was when you was Swansea, and you had a good partner, Lee Trundle. You and him was, you know, you used to bounce off each other, and it was all. I think you two was the ones who was up there with myself in the scoring charts, and 2007, I think that was. And
it was proper. Like you said, I totally, because it's just natural. Like me and Trons, we hit it off, you know, both on and off the pitch. And like you said, you can work, but you just bounce off it. You just enjoy each other's games. And they were the good times. Listen, I watched you was banging goals that season. Good times, great memories.
This was 2006, 2007, right? When you were talking about scoring these goals?
Yeah.
So you're talking about Scunthorpe?
Yeah, Scunthorpe. So we was top of the league, and I was up front with Jermaine Beckford. Bayo was with Trundle, and
Trons.
We managed to win 2-0 that night and get promoted that season. But Andy Keogh had just gone to Wolves. He got his move, and Jermaine Beckford came in. And
that was the game. I swear that was the game I broke my leg.
You did, mate. I think you came off. Well, you came off at half time, yeah. And it's funny actually, because the reverse fixture before at Blandford Park, I was the one who got carried off, and I remember you coming up to me and giving me a tap to see if I was all right when I was going off on the stretcher. I did my ankle ligaments that game, and I think that was Gary Monk who went through me that day. And like you said, I think you got injured the reverse fixture as well. Yeah.
You, to be fair, you come in half time tapped. The worst thing is, of course, you don't remember stuff like this. I remember at half time I was on gas and air, and I was waiting for the ambulance. You came in, checked twice, and I think it was Foster. I was with Foster at Doncaster, and he's the one who went through the back of me, but I won't hold nothing. It was an accident. And then you both come in at half time to see how I did. It was a Tuesday evening game. Yeah, you won 2-0. Yeah, man. I remember that. Jeez.
The reason I brought that up, and because you obviously mentioned it anyways, because that season was when you scored 30 times, which was a record in all four of them, the highest total in the 4 leagues in England, which was pretty special. And obviously, like, it helps when you're in a good team or when you're with a good partner. Funnily enough, I worked with Jermaine Beckford the other day as well. He doesn't stop talking, does he? He does not stop talking. I was sat with him watching the Leeds game, but I loved it. It was like constant commentary. So I had the commentary normal, like Sky commentary in my ear, and then I had Jermaine's as well. And he wasn't listening to the Sky commentary, but they were very similar. It was brilliant. I loved working with him. A real big character as well. But that season, to walk away from that season and score 30 times, that must have just been incredible.
Yeah, it was. And it's funny, actually. I got an award off Soccer AM. They used to do the golden shoe or some, like, it was like it wasn't the golden shoe. Yeah, it was the golden shoe, but it was a leather shoe what they sprayed, and it was on like a wooden plaque, and I've still got that now, and I thought it was amazing at the time. Not the golden espadrille. I think it was just the golden shoe. Yeah. So, it was. To do that with Sheffield United was, to replicate that. I got the 30 for Sheffield United in the same league as well, which I wanted one more just to break that one, but yeah, it's a record for Scunthorpe and something I'm proud of as well. I had great memories at Scunthorpe, and that set me up for my career that I've had now, and I don't underestimate, and I still, very grateful for the opportunities at Scunthorpe, Doncaster, and obviously Rushden and Diamonds, who were the first people who gave me the opportunity to be able to showcase what I can do.
Bill, you seem mad confident, right? So have you always been this way? So in a sense of from young, and where does this confidence come from? Where is this self-belief? Where did it come from?
Yeah, I think self-belief is a big part of being a successful player, and if you go onto the pitch, this is what I said, if you go onto the pitch with doubts, like maybe we was as a team a few weeks ago, there isn't going to be many good things that happen. You have to go out there and believe in each other, believe in yourself, and put that together as one. And if you gave a bad touch away and I'm on your back in a criticism, it's not going to help you. It's going to affect me and you. But if I'm saying, Bayo, unlucky, go again, get the next one right, you're going to be like, yeah, I will, and you'll do it for me, and I've been good with you, and it's just the chemistry on the pitch, needs to be positive, and I've always been that way. I've always, like I say, when I was 23, 24, I thought I was Superman. I thought I was invincible. I have gone onto the pitch as the older I've got, maybe thinking, can I do this? But, I've got through that, and I do believe I can play and score in the Premier League, and I'm managing to do that now, which I am. I'm incredibly proud of it, but I've worked hard to get there, and I just think for any youngster, have that balance, not be too low, not be too high, have the confidence and the belief, but don't get too high with the good times and don't get too low when it's not going so well. And I've managed to be able to balance that and keep it at a level where it's good for me.
What was Doncaster like? Tell us about your time there.
Yeah, the Donny Dream, we call it. It's some incredible players there, to be honest. I wasn't playing as much at Sheffield United, and Doncaster took me on loan initially, and the first day, Johnny Oster and James Coppinger, incredible ability with the ball at the feet. Both got me a lot of goals. Technically very, very good, probably two of the best that I've played with, and the training was really good. That's when I started to really enjoy my training. Intense, but really suited the way I wanted to play, and the team was playing and complemented each other, and scored a lot of goals for them. But that's the time where I wasn't really looking after my body right, and was getting a few injuries, which was affecting me and stopping me from getting to the 20-goal barrier. So I think they ended up buying me and ended up scoring again. I think I got 17. An injury prevented me from getting to 20. But ended up getting a move when I got back fit. And I remember it was Leicester and Southampton who was the teams after me, and I managed to score against a brace against Leicester one week, and then the week after I scored against Southampton, I was thinking, right, that's not done any harm. Not that I wasn't happy at Doncaster. I was loving it, but everybody wants to play at the highest possible level they can, and they gave me the stepping stone to get that move. But I owe a lot to Doncaster anyway. As you know, helped me through an incredibly tough time in my personal life, and I'll always be thankful for the help and the support that the club, Dean Saunders at the time, who was the manager, and my teammates who helped me get through that period.
Billy, if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit more about this? This is your son, wasn't it, Louis?
Yeah, he was born with a defect called gastroschisis, which is not quite easy to say, and sadly passed away after 2 days of fighting, but had some special moments in them 2 days, which again, nobody wants to lose a son or a child, and we're not the first people to lose one, and we won't be the last, but shouldn't have to go through that heartache. And football for me personally was the reason I've not got over it, but managed to deal with it. And I have said in interviews before, I was looking back, I was selfish to probably, leave my wife, who's now my wife, at the time, on her own, and that was probably not the right thing to do. But I think football helped us both as a couple as well to overcome and deal with the situation that we was dealt with.
It's inspired you as well in a way to help other youngsters, isn't it? Get into the game and develop them, and that's a passion of yours.
Yeah, I've set up an academy, which something I've always had the passion to do, but I thought I was going to do it after I'd finished playing. But I had advice from people around me that it'd be good to do it now to help the younger kids, and that's another thing for me. Fans are a big part of the game, but children looking up to the heroes. I've done it. At Brian Deane and Alan Shearer were my heroes, and I watched what they did, and I wanted to help the kids, because I know now, I see kids, I hear kids. Sheffield United have asked my child to come along to the academy. He's only just turned 8. He's far too young for I don't want to bore him with football. I want him to just enjoy it with his friends. And you know what? If he's got the ability, then so be it. But there's a lot of kids at 6, 7, 8 years old who I'm seeing with tears in their eyes because they're in this. They're at Man City, a branch of Man City. So they're not in the elite Man City, but they're in a branch that Man City are looking at. They get released. They go to Sheffield United. They get released, and they think that the career's not even started. They think the career's done. I had one kid saying, "Yeah, I'm not good enough because Man City and Sheffield United have let me go," and I'm saying, you are not going to play football for Sheffield United professionally at 8 years old. You have got from now until whenever it takes to be able to, get to where you want to be. And my academy is it's for all ages, girls, boys, and for any ability. The coaches are all brilliant. They try and help individuals to get better, and there's no pressure there. It's an unlimited contract, if you like. Not a contract, but you know what I mean. It's training for as long as they want it. There's no pressure. It's there to have a smile on your face. And I've had the clubs come on to me and saying, "Oh, he's a good little player, isn't he?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he is. He's fine here though." He doesn't. I feel there's a lot of pressure on them. There's a lot of pressure on the youngsters, and drilling things into them. I don't know. I don't think it's good for him, to be honest. But that's the way it is this day and age. The clubs want to get him as early as possible.
So I mean, listen, I love the fact that you're working. I've always said it. The kids they're the next generation. They are the future. It's massive. The game's moved on. Society's moved on. But see, the way I hear you talk, are you looking to go into management when you retire?
Yeah, I think management's the way I want to go rather than coaching. Even though I've set up the academy. I love, I like coaching. Say if there's a group of 8, 10-year-olds and all similar ability, it's so easy, it's so fun because they want to listen and learn. But if I've got the Wickham lads, there's going to be 3 or 4 of them thinking, "What's he on about? I'm not listening to him." Do you know, he's coaching.
We will listen, man. We will listen.
He's coaching. Oh, that's a rubbish session or whatever. But as manager, you're the manager. So what you say goes. And if you've got a good man at the side of you who's on the training pitch, because I do feel that's it's Alan Neil does most of the coaching, and it is good and it's fun. But then at the end of the day, the gaffer's the gaffer, and he has to do what the gaffer says, and I think I'd like that responsibility, but who knows?
Really important question, Billy, because when you talk about going into management, you have to decide pretty early on whether you're a suit manager or a tracksuit manager. Which one would you be?
Or a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's created his own niche.
Swinging his hair on.
Time of manager, yeah. You've got to grow your hair.
Do you know what? I think I'd be more of a casual manager, but
yes,
a cup final I might put the suit on if I got to a cup final.
But then
I'd be fuming if I lost the cup final, and I'd be thinking it was all down to the suit. Are
you superstitious?
Yeah, a little bit. Not as much as I used to be. I I've got a few things.
I think all footballers are, you know. I don't care what anybody says. All footballers are, and maybe superstition. I guess it's routine. I was sitting down with a rugby person, and it's more routine.
Absolutely.
So you know, you're so used to doing a routine that you're like, listen, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's routine, but I'm with you. I think most footballers are superstitious.
Yeah, the superstitions when I was younger, it was crazy. I was like, say if I put my shorts on before something else, I had to take them off and do it again. But that was getting too much. I was thinking, I've not scored today because I've not done this, I've not done that. But now it's what Bayo says it's a routine. It's something that gets you into the zone. It's the match routine, and yeah, you feel comfortable, you're happy, you're ready to go, and yeah, I've got them, like you say, every footballer has them, and I still do them now.
All right, so question. So we talked about football's changed, we talked about society's changed. So what do you say to the youngsters coming through now? Are you on social media?
I'm on social media, yeah, which again...
yeah, that's what I wanted to add into it. So what do you say to the youngsters that we didn't have to deal with social media when we was young? You know, so what do you say to the youngsters coming through? Listen, touching on, don't get too high, don't get too low, but what's your advice to the youngsters in all aspects, social media, the mentality? What's your advice to the youngsters?
I wouldn't be on it, but this is a thing. This is the day and age we're in. You know, social media is a big part of people's lives, so there's a lot of good with it, but there's also a lot of bad as well. Criticising a player when they've had a bad game is not going to help anybody. You can't play well every game. But if you can take criticism and you can take people knocking you down, then if you're big enough to be able to take that on the chin, then fair dues. But for the youngsters, there's a few training with us at the minute, and it's hard because I know exactly how they're feeling. Yeah, they're probably scared. But as soon as you get rid of that fear and you play with, like you're playing with, you do with, you know, when you're playing with your mates, you can play football. It's a lot easier to play football when you're relaxed. And me, having been there, and I'm one of the older lads, you try and build a relationship with them. You know, you get the name, you get to know the name, and when they're in and around you, try and make them as comfortable as they can, because that is the big thing. I remember the likes of Jack Lester and Rob Cosluck. I used to think, wow, they are bad men, they are angry men, but they was just making me become the man I am today. And Jack Lester, and he's the academy manager now, and I still see him, and yeah, he helped me. I thought at the time, the first few weeks, God, he's on my back, but he was just trying to help me, and people do it in a different way. I try to just help the young lads as much as possible, tell them if they need to ask any questions or want any advice, which some of them have come to me, and Phil Jagielka, another one who's older than me, he's as old as you. So they do, and I think now it's different coming up as a young lad. They don't have to do the things we used to do. You know, we used to get locked in the changing rooms, lights off, and you used to have to try and find your clothes and get dressed in the dark before you could go home, or cleaning boots. I think the young lads should have to clean boots. You know, it's part of the process of being a footballer.
I agree.
But you can't do that anymore. So, the kit man does it, and he gets a little bit of extra pay, which I'm sure he's happy about.
I've got a few more questions to ask you, if you don't mind, and then we'll let you go, because obviously we know you're a busy man, you've got lots to do, games to focus on, all that sort of stuff as well. When you look at the teams that you've played for, you seem to have played for a lot of teams with just like huge fan bases, and really involved fan bases. Like, I know everyone's fan base feels loyal, but there are some clubs with bigger fan bases than other, aren't there? What was the favourite? And you don't have to. I tell you what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to say you can't say Sheffield United, because that's easy.
So I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah. When you look back at the clubs that you played for, whose fan base do you have the most affection for? Why?
It's so hard to pick one out. I haven't mentioned Nottingham Forest, who I was at. Such a huge club with so much history. I went there after obviously going on loan from Southampton, having the personal issue, and they was really, really supportive. got right behind me from day one, and to score a goal at the Trent end was a special feeling, and them fans really helped me. And the Southampton fans, they had a great song, one that I'd not heard before, sung about me, and I had a good relationship with them, even though it was only 6 months. Managed to get promotion, and a full St Mary's was an amazing feeling as well. And
what was the song?
You want to go sing it for us, Billy, man? You want to sing the song, man?
Ole, 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 Billy shop. So anyway,
let me say,
when the crowd was singing that,
you ain't never heard that one before.
It was pretty special, especially when I got.
They must have got around the table to really script that one. They must have. Right, let's get our heads together. What can we do? Right,
I was just about to say,
there's words coming to me.
I could have done that. Hey, let me just say, hey, Billy, your CV is certified, you know, brother. Hey, it is certified. But you played for some heavy hitters. Proper. Hey, certified.
The Leeds one, I'm gutted about that, to be honest, because we only got the full stadium a few games, 36,000. We used to get around 28, 30,000, but not only for the game, a few games where we got the full house. And I know they get a full house every week now, which their fans are unbelievable as well. And going back to Doncaster again, I think they're only getting an average in around 7,000 or 8,000. I know they're in League One now, but when we was in the Championship, it was full 15,000. And yeah, it's not as much as your Leeds, Southampton's, Nottingham Forest and Sheffield United's, but it was hell of a atmosphere, and it's a lovely little ground.
Yeah,
and
I'll give you that.
the fans was obviously very, very supportive of me and my family. And I've always had a good relationship with the fans who I've played with, and I feel that's something I always had to get right first. To get their support helped me out as a player, and the relationship I had with the fans at the clubs I've just said is something that is in my heart, and I'm thankful for, because, like I say, the Leeds, I had 4 managers, but I scored on my debut 1-0. Shirt was off, looking good. I had a tan and everything, and
that was against Middlesbrough, right?
Against Middlesbrough, live on Sky. I'd only trained once before, and the fans straight away were with me. And as soon as you get that, it helps out so much. And again, Scunthorpe, we used to get 7,000 full house. I don't think they get near 4 now, which it's sad to see, but obviously they don't get any at the minute because of what we're going through. But their fans turned on me a little bit. I celebrated against them when I scored for Doncaster. It was my first goal for Doncaster, but I was getting paid by Doncaster. I was wanting to score goals for Doncaster, and that was my job. And it wasn't to disrespect the Scunthorpe fans, but I think it was a different era of a generation of fans who was getting on my back, to be honest, because they probably not seen me play for Scunthorpe when I then scored for Doncaster. So I have huge respect for Scunthorpe fans as well, because I scored a lot of goals for them and got a great move back to the club who I love and support, and who I'm at now. Quick
one. When Leeds got promoted and you were thinking, right, we're going to be in the same league, going to play against Leeds again, it's going to be this and that. Did you have quite a bit of, what were the emotions? Did you feel good for them?
Yeah, I did. When we pipped into promotion, that felt really good. But I wanted them to then get promoted, and I've got a good friend in Liam Cooper, who I know you've spoke to recently. He's the captain, and he's doing great at the minute. And he was one who I signed on the same day as when I signed for Leeds. There's only him and Calvin Phillips, I think, who was left when I was there. So a lot's changed, and for the better, obviously. And it's good to see him doing well. It's reminding me a lot of what we did last season. They're playing with a lot of belief, momentum, and it's a credit to them boys, because they haven't changed much. I think they've only made 2 or 3 signings, so it reminds me very much of what we was like last season. Hopefully we can keep grinding out the results and stay in the league, so we could play against Leeds with a full house at Bramall Lane or at Ellen Road.
I believe you, bruv. You will. I believe in you, my brother.
Bayo, who do you support?
I support Liverpool.
Right, okay. I didn't know if you did or not, because obviously I seen what, the little bits with Henderson and stuff like that, but I didn't know whether you did or not.
He's a big fanboy.
What? Hey, what? Hey, Billy, you don't follow me then. What the hell? Huh? Liverpool. Cut me, I bleed red. Like all of you, you get me? We all bleed red, actually, so I'll take that back. But you don't know. But I'm a Liverpool
So
man, yeah? Listen, I
who's
got
your
fined.
hero growing up? Who did you...
John Barnes.
Right, okay.
John Barnes was the reason why I started supporting Liverpool. But you see, I got fined a week's wages for wearing Liverpool shirt
I know.
when they won the league. Yeah, bruv. Come
That's
on,
what I mean.
GG. That's my team.
Did you actually get fined a week's wages?
Nah, we got promoted, so he allowed me.
Right.
But he did say, he said if we don't, like, he'll fine, man. He said if we don't get promoted, I'll fine you. And I was like, all right, cool, say nothing. So I bullied the boys to make sure we got promoted. And I was like, boys, I can't afford it. Come on. And them dead ass boots he wears.
I can't believe you've never seen him or heard him talk about Liverpool. Their love for it is honestly so strong.
I need to hear you say it.
That's my team, bruv. You get me?
So Billy, you're at home to Chelsea on Sunday evening, who you've got a good record against actually, and obviously at the moment there's a bit of swapping and changing with Chelsea. Is it a good time or a bad time to play them?
Well, it's a better time now than it was if we'd have been playing them 3 weeks ago. I think they just won a couple of games under Frank Lampard, and we was obviously losing games. So we've won 5 out of the last 7, albeit being a couple of cup games. But we're as high as we've been for a while now. So I'd like it to have been a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday, because you can't beat that. But we'll have to wait a full weekend to get his teeth into that game. But yeah, we have to look forward to it. We'll be the underdogs, and yeah, maybe rightly so, but they've got a new manager. He's changed the team twice now, so he doesn't know his best team, but we're going to give it a right good shot. And I feel it's important. If we can get that first goal, I've got a lot of belief in us. But if we don't, hopefully we can do what we did last night and turn it around. But it's a huge game in the Premier League. It's what you want, playing against the big teams like your Chelsea's, and it's something we need to embrace and just go for it.
Hey, bruv, you've said it. You know what I'm saying? It's you lot are in a position where I think you've always been together, but you've got them wins. Going to Chelsea, I mean, I think Sheffield United's always the underdogs, really. So it makes no difference. But like I said, like Righty, I'm backing you. I'm backing you lot to survive. I'm backing you personally to be scoring them goals and that.
So Billy, we mentioned earlier on you turned 35 this weekend, don't you? Is it on Friday?
Yeah, I think it's Friday. What are we on today? 3rd? Yeah, Friday, yeah.
The big 3-5 on Friday. I just wanted to tell you some of the people that you share your birthday with. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Neymar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tevez.
Yeah.
Oh.
Big hitters there. Big hitters.
What big hitters? That's 4 big strikers. Come on.
Georgie Hadji as well.
Really?
I think so.
Hadji as well.
Georgie Hadji, yeah. We my dad called a dog after Georgie Hadji once, after the 96 Euros, I think it was, for Romania. So I think he's on the same day as well. Jordan Rhodes, I think, as well.
Really? Yeah. Have you ever thought about
sports people? Yeah.
Ever thought about dropping Cristiano a DM just to say happy birthday, Cristiano? It's my birthday too, and see if he.
Do you know what? I think
back.
3 years ago I actually tagged him in and said happy birthday, CR7, and didn't get anything back. So.
What?
Really?
Nah, you know
Hopefully,
what?
wishes me this time.
Disrespectful.
I'm gonna tag him. I'm gonna tag you both in and say, "Hey, yo, CR7, it's my boy Billy's birthday. Yeah, happy birthday to you both." Tag him back. That's what I'm gonna do on Friday. You are.
Let's see if we can get a message. Amazing. Right, Billy, have an amazing birthday.
Cheers.
And I hope the birthday present for you is a win and you stay up in the Premier League, because we wish you all the best, and you've got a lot of goodwill. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
We are smashing it out the park with these guests, aren't we, at the moment? Bayo?
Yo, we're killing it. We're shutting it down.
He was so good, so good. Another great guest on the bounce. Billy Sharp, we wish him the best of luck for their games. And I do think, as I said to him, there's a lot of support for Sheffield United. I think people really want them to do well.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I do. I like them, man. Maybe because I'm part of a underdog story and people have written them off and that, but they played football right way, and nah, man, I hope they do it. I hope they get out of it.
Yeah. Okay, it is time now to look at the Super 6 fixtures for round 33. Download the Super 6 app, create an account and play for free by predicting the scores of 6 chosen matches to be in with a chance of winning £250,000 this week.
Cash money. Another reminder that you can invite your friends to join the Super 6. And if your invited friends go on and win the jackpot, then you can win £25,000. Make sure you get involved, as we could be talking about you next week.
Okay, prediction time now. So here are the fixtures. I'm going to read them out as I normally do. And then, Bayo, you are going to tell me what you think, and then I'm going to follow up. So, first fixture, Newcastle against Southampton. Whew.
Oh, boy, listen, there's gonna have to be a reaction. So I'm gonna say 2-1 Southampton.
I'm going to say 9-0 Newcastle. No, not really. I'm going to say... I think there's going to be a reaction as well. Newcastle actually playing a lot better than they have been before. Callum Wilson scoring goals again as well, actually, isn't he? But Saints are still missing players. Bednarek's going to be out unless they can get that overturned, isn't he? Oh, it's difficult, this one. 1-1.
Oh,
I bottled
1-1.
it. I went 1-1. Okay, Burnley, Brighton.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Burnley.
I am going to say for this one, I think Brighton are going to get a win here. I'm going to say 1-0 Brighton. Okay, Bournemouth against Birmingham. Bournemouth just lost their manager, just fired their manager, Jason Tindall.
Did that happen?
Birmingham, that happened today, breaking news.
Oh, we was thinking about that yesterday. Sheffield Wednesday beat them, lost 4 on the bounce. To be fair, I think we did see that coming. We played Birmingham yesterday. I'm going to say 1-0 Birmingham.
Do you know what? I'm going to say 1-0 Birmingham as well, actually, because I think it's going to take them a bit of time.
Yeah.
Whoever they bring in, even if they have someone new in, it will take some time. What about Borough against Brentford? Brentford's not a team you want to focus on at the moment.
Boy, you know what? I'm going to say 3-1 Brentford.
I am going to say 2-0 Brentford. Sorry, Borough fans. Okay, Stoke, Reading.
I think both teams are in good form, but I'm going to say 2-1 Reading.
I am going to say 1-0 Reading.
Okay.
And then our final one, QPR against Blackburn.
QPR got a good result against Bournemouth the other day. But Blackburn, I'm going to say 1-0 Blackburn.
I'm going to say a draw for that one. I'm going to say QPR 1, Blackburn 1.
Okay.
Right, guys, that is it for another week. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. If you've been listening for one show or all of the shows, we love your company. And Billy Sharp was just excellent. So, Billy, thank you very much for joining us too.
Yo, Billy, shout out. People continue to listen. It is always a pleasure.
And a reminder as well, if you want to get involved on Twitter, follow us at Super6, and you can use the hashtag as well, hashtag Super6Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that business, because then it downloads automatically each week, doesn't it, Bayo?
Yeah, each week, download, do as LW says, do as I say, and listen, tune in next week because we'll be back.
See you next time. Thanks for listening.
Peace.